So what I was going to go over today was how to use your website to create blog posts. Last time we worked with Google Business Profile on how to create a backlink for you. And now I want to kind of use the product ActiveRain. Who is everybody here on a RealGeeks platform, or do we have people on other platforms?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so that simplifies things because, you know, it just makes more sense. But if you have another platform, I can work with you on that too.
Bob, I know what I was going to ask you. Is ActiveRain free, or do you have to pay for it?
Good question. You don't have to pay for it, but you want to.
Okay.
Because if it's, hey, Amber, so if you have the free version, only people inside ActiveRain can see your blog posts. For $100, they let Google see your blog posts. And what they're good at, I think it's $100 for the year or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. One of the Jasons, maybe you know. But for $100 for Google to see your blogs for a year, ActiveRain got really well known in like the 2010 timeframe. Because if you put a blog up within 20 minutes, Google had it. They had something going on. And then everybody else kind of passed them by. The owners of ActiveRain sold it to Zillow, and ActiveRain people went and created Brevity, and you know, then they bought the company back. And so it's been through this thing. It's kind of like the stepchild nobody wants to deal with right now, but they still have that engine sitting there that Google picks up your stuff within 20, 30 minutes.
Now that's what this is about. You're gonna show how to blog ActiveRain and get it to go back to your RealGeeks or whatever.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So I'm in Dallas. Is anybody else in Dallas? Okay, good. Let's. I don't like y'all if you're in Dallas. No, it's fine. So you can see my site here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's say I want to pick today. I like to do. Let's go to Collin County, and I want to do. Let's say Farmersville, and I want to do houses in Farmersville that are 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And my thing is, I want to pick different varieties of inventory. I want to do homes in Farmersville that have a corner lot, homes in Farmersville that have a pool. And I can do that in the advanced search. Maybe I do it from the advanced search here. So let's go to Farmersville here. And each of you have an advanced search with different features. Based off your MLS, RealGeeks will give you different features here. So here's Farmersville. Here's the way somebody misspelled Farmersville. And let's say I want to have Farmersville here with 1-acre lots. Let's see if there's anything there. There are. So this URL right here is set to be Farmersville. And in the lot description here, it's going to say lot size minimum. And we all know this number from the realtor test, 43560, right? That's how many, square feet an acre, right? So this URL is what's called a query string URL. The whole search is contained here. I can take this URL and put it anywhere in the world, and you'll get the current results. And that's one of the great things about ActiveRain. So now what I want to do is I want to come over here great things about RealGeeks. I'm already signed into my ActiveRain. So you'd want to create an account and sign in. I want to write a blog. And I'm going to say, here are the great homes in Farmersville, Texas, on an acre lot. And yeah, I'm just going for the long tail keyword search there, right? I'm going for the long tail result. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to type in all sorts of great stuff about Farmersville. Maybe I'll go take some pictures in Farmersville. And I'm going to come highlight this text. And I'm going to say homes in Farmersville on acre lots. I want the text to be about what the link is going to be. The text that you use, and spell it right, the text that you use here is something that Google looks at. So you don't want all the text to always be Texas Pride Realty. You want the thing to be about what the link is about. And I'm going to go create a link. I just created a little link icon there, paste that in, and I'm going to make the title be the same as the display and save it. Now I'll put in some pictures and some posts. Hey, Merch, I'll put in some pictures and some posts and some things like that to make the blog flesh out. But as soon as I publish this, within 20, 30 minutes or so, Google's going to find this. So when people start searching for homes in Farmersville, I have a chance of ranking with this blog post, and it links back to my site to a page that's relevant about Farmersville.
And it links back to your site via that link you put in there.
Right, via this whole construction I just did. It's literally that simple. Now, let's talk for a second about what's called domain authority. Okay, Amber, if Beyonce comes to your town and goes to the microphone during her concert and says, Amber's the best realtor, you should use Amber. Amber, what part of the world are you in?
Nashville.
Nashville. She comes to Nashville and she's doing a concert with Dolly, and she says, Amber's the best agent, you should use Amber in Nashville. Do you think your website will go crazy? She has a domain authority of 100. If my aunt goes to the corner and says, Amber's a nice lady and I kind of think I like her, is anybody going to care? No, my aunt's domain authority is 0 because nobody, including our family, listens to my aunt. The point being is you want to get domain authority link backs from higher domain authority sites to you. ActiveRain has a domain authority in the 70s, I believe. You can make Beyonce go to the mic as much as you want and talk about your site, because you can go out and blog and blog and blog and blog and blog and get those high domain authority link backs.
That is amazing. Is there any other source you can think of? Because I've heard people talk about backlinks for years, but what the hell? I'm not going to go get GM to blog about my Atlanta website.
Okay, so why don't you find an Atlanta reporter and talk to the reporter about something unique in your market?
Ah, good idea.
So
that would bolster it in addition to ActiveRain.
So Channel 8 News in Atlanta, I don't even know what news you have there, but AtlantaABC.com.
Yeah.
Posts a story and mentions Robert Whitfield, and remind me the name of your company?
Advantage Realtors.
And in the thing that he says he works for AdvantageRealtors.com, if they put a link there, they're going to have a high domain authority because they're a news site. And that's a link back to you.
Good
now,
idea.
here's what I found about being in the news. Reporters are lazy. Editors need more content. If they see, like, if I got into a PBS news cycle, the other PBS companies around the system picked up the story and put it on their sites. So now one story ricocheted to 7 different PBS sites, all of which have huge domain authority, just by talking to one reporter, because I found something unique in my market to talk about.
Cool.
Okay. So maybe you do something like that. I also want to go back to the idea that we use our Google My Business and we create products. Okay. In your Google business, you create a product and you would come out here and say, add product. And we were in, what town were we in just now? Farmersville. Homes in, I always misspell shit. Homes in Farmersville, pardon me, I cuss, Texas. Now, other states will have Farmerville. Other states have, how many states have Springfield? Always put your state in there too. Yeah, I grew up in Springfield, Virginia. Homes in Farmersville, Texas. What did we say this was? Under 500, whatever the thing was. Or, oh no, on acre lot. Okay, on acreages. Now, I've already created a category for homes for sale. So if you don't have a category here, just create a new category, homes for sale. I don't put in a price. I will drop in the same sort of description about Farmersville and how great it is and blah, blah, blah. And here, you drop the link there. Oops. Let me go grab that link again. You copy that link. Here, you don't put it as a hot link. You drop the link there. And it comes up as a learn more. It comes up and says, do you want to learn more? Now, this doesn't necessarily count as a link back, but it helps your Google business profile. Okay? Your Google business profile will lead to you ranking, which leads to people going to your website. Make sense?
Awesome.
So you can use ActiveRain. Who has a WordPress account?
Several.
Okay, I do too. So you can go to your WordPress and create blogs about your area. So I use one called Today's DFW. Now, Today's DFW is about places to go eat and shop and things in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Here's how it looks on the front end. Please work, it's a demo. Okay, so I'm paying bloggers $30 a blog to go eat somewhere, and they owe me 5 pictures and 2 unique paragraphs, not ChatGPT shit, unique paragraphs. So let's, Ascension Coffee in the Design District. Ascension Coffee is a great breakfast lunch place in Dallas. So here's picture 1, and here's the write-up about it. And at the bottom, it says, do you want to learn more about Dallas? Click on this link, and it links back to my Texas Pride Realty site. And here's some more pictures. By the way, I own the pictures and the content now because I paid them $30. I can use these, stitch them together, make an Instagram post. I could use these on Google My Business. I could go out to ActiveRain and post about the places in Dallas that I've done. And you click on this and it takes you back to the Dallas page of Texas Pride Realty. So I'm creating that reciprocal link. Here, I've got an iframe. If you don't know what I'm basically featuring a little segment on my site of their site. So here's all the places in today's DFW that we featured in the city of Dallas, and here's houses. So I'm creating this this reciprocal link system on a WordPress blog, as well as going out and doing it on Google Business and ActiveRain. I see a chat question here. How often would you do this? Leanne, how often would you do this? Oh, you're at a golf course with your son. Okay, well, fine. Have fun at the golf course. I try to do this at least once a week. I'll go drop a blog somewhere. The today's DFW, I have people doing that. So I have bloggers who go out and do the blogs, and then I have a virtual assistant who goes and posts them for me. So so the WordPress site, I have somebody handling that for me. But as far as ActiveRain and Google My Business, I try to go do those myself, just because I don't like giving people my IDs.
Bob, how do you find these people that'll go out and do this for $30 or $35?
I went on Facebook and created a job.
Oh my God.
I went on Facebook and did a job post. And I got 5 people apply, and I said yes to 3 of the 5, and one of them dropped out. I still have 2 bloggers. And one of them does 10 a month, and one of them does like 5 a month, and that's extra money for them. And then I pay my virtual assistant to just, mark the, take the stuff, put it together, and post it for me, and I pay him $7 an hour.
But that saves you half a day. I want to do one. We got this cool place called Pont City Market in Midtown.
Right.
And I freaking go there. It's going to take a half a day to go. It's a giant old historic Sears building, and it's cool as hell. It's full of restaurants. You get somebody to do that, it would take me half a day.
And if I take this Ascension Coffee place, I can take 3 or 4 of these, stitch them together into a little video, put them on my Insta. I could put it together and use it in a variety of ways. Why won't that close? And just, have all this content. Awesome. I don't know why this picture won't go away. Yeah. And it's like you said, it's a time saver for me to be able to just let other people go. I've got 800 pieces of content in 6 years here. What I'm struggling with now personally is how to convert that content into new content. How do I make Insta Reels out of it? How do I use this as a Google My Business? How do I do more with this to drive traffic to this site, which drives traffic to my site? So start small. Whose mind is just like, oh my God, I can't listen to him anymore. His high-pitched voice is driving me crazy. Would he please shut up? Okay, my point being is the whole root of everything is this, your website. Let me show you. I was just doing a presentation. That's why I was late. And I stole these slides. These are ranking factors for how to get your website ranked. Can you see that? And Mert, if you're on here, you could probably put this slide together. Off-page SEO. Off-page SEO is links to your site, what those links say. Because I was doing the one for Farmersville, homes on an acre. If I just had that link just say Texas Pride Realty, and every link out there said Texas Pride Realty, Google would go, that seems like spam. But when all my link language is different, oh, this one's about Farmersville, this one's about Dallas, this one's about pools, this one's about mother-in-law plans, that sort of thing. So always change what the link says. And the quality of the link coming from which domain authority. If my aunt has it on her page versus Beyonce having it on her page, it means something different. The next thing is behavior. If people go to Amber's site, let's say Mert goes to Amber's site, and Mert hangs out for 3 seconds and bounces, versus Mert goes to Jason's site, and either one of the Jasons, and lingers on that site for 3 or 4 minutes. Well, the behavior is different. Jason has a better site. Let's send more people to Jason's site because it's got more content. People are lingering there. That's fine. Personalization. If you're looking for florists near you, Robert, it's going to show you florists in the Atlanta area. It's not going to show you a florist in Topeka. So where you are, what your device is, where your location, things like that. Now, if you want to get to seniors, make a website that is going to go work better on older phones. Older phones don't do all the flashy new stuff. If you have a site that does flashy new stuff, seniors may not see it because they have older phones. So just think about that. Citations. This has to do with, does your website have your name, your phone number, your address, your socials? If it's a spammer site, it won't have that. So a site that has those things, Google goes, hey, they must be a real person. Okay. On-page SEO. This is what I'm talking about with keywords, meta descriptions, your domain authority, what your titles are, how much you mention the name of your city or your town or whatever in that page. And, you know, as Mert and I are helping build out people's sites, we mention that city multiple times on the page so that it has good on-page SEO. Reviews. This has to do with how many reviews you have on your Google business. Okay, everybody should be out looking for more reviews. How your review quality, do they recommend you, or do they just say, Robert's a nice person? Do they say, I recommend Mr. Clay to do this for me? Or do they just say, I liked his house. So the language that's used in the review is important. So when I ask somebody to review me, I ask them to recommend me, to say I'm knowledgeable, to use weighted words. Okay, and then your Google My Business itself. How often are you updating it? Are you putting out more pictures? Are you updating the times of the year that you're working? Like if you have not updated your Christmas and New Year's times, go do that, because Google sees, oh, he's working with our product. Let's rank him higher. So these are 7 ranking factors. They have different ways of ranking. You have the map pack. This has to do with like Italian restaurants near me. It's going to show a map of the Italian restaurants near. Can you tell I'm hungry? The Italian restaurants near you. Okay. It's not going to show you an Italian restaurant 17 miles away. But if you're looking for organic search, best Italian restaurant, in the organic, you may rank differently than you will on the map pack, because this has to do with where you are. This has to do with what you said on your website. These were the ranking factors 2 years ago. You'll notice that the 7 ranking factors were directly inverse to each other. The things that made your Google My Business were not the same things that made your website play. They were directly inverse to each other. The new update, your website is playing much more of a role in your Google business rankings. I know I'm pretty, Amber, but you don't have to sneak a picture. No. So they're not inverse anymore. They're actually working together more. And yes, I stole these slides, but they're changing how it's working, and your Google My Business is going to affect your website more, and your website's going to affect your Google My Business more. So that's why I want to be sure everybody knows to go out and do these posts. And we could trade blogs. You know, Jason, I could do a blog about wherever you are on my ActiveRain and say, oh my gosh, if you want to have a great realtor, go talk to Jason, link to Jason. And then you can do a blog about how great Bob is in Dallas. And you'll give me in that non-reciprocal blogging could be good. Any questions? Too much?
On your today's DFW one, are you specifically using the WordPress.com domain in order to get more authority than like if you actually did today's DFW.com?
I think that was just me being silly.
Okay.
I have today's DFW forward to that. And I probably just 8 years, 7 years, whatever ago, I didn't think about it.
Okay.
And I don't know if that would make a difference or not. Mert, do you know the answer to that?
Because we've been thinking about, I literally was just the other day looking up domains for something very similar, because I heard you talk about this before.
Yeah.
So, and then it's so easy to kind of then link that kind of through Instagram, doing the same thing. Like I have an Instagram one I used to run. I need to kind of reinvigorate it where it's doing the same thing. So I'm going to just try to dual purpose the content.
I stole this idea from Gary Vaynerchuk. I was, I'd gone up to Arkansas to see Arkansas play Mississippi State, because 2 of my clients, one was from Arkansas, one was from Mississippi, and they had a huge bet, and I was just going to go have fun. Driving back 6 hours, I listened to Gary Vaynerchuk, and he was talking about this digital mayor shit, and I was like, I've been thinking of doing this, why not do it? And I just launched it to see what happened. And it's been great. And I have so much content I could do. But to your question about whether it's better to use like today'sdfw.com versus today'sdfw.wordpress.com, I think back in the day, I was just like, get it up and get it going. I didn't think about the long-term effect of that URL. Could I change it now? I don't know. I have no idea what that would change. And that's probably something I should think about.
It'd probably change all your links. I wouldn't do it. Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I'm not sure. But, you know, WordPress is going to have a higher domain authority than today's DFW will. So, don't know. And there's two strategies to blogging. There are people who say that blog on your site to drive traffic to your site. And there are people who say blog off your site to drive link backs. And I'm in an arm wrestling situation with that because I like to do off page and link back rather than on page. I don't think people come to a tire store to read a book. They go to a tire store to buy tires. They go to the library to read a book. So why not put my blog in the library where they're reading other WordPress and they're reading other ActiveRain? Nobody's going to come to Text Pride Realty to read an article. They're coming to Text Pride Realty to see a house. Now, but I'm playing both sides against each other right now because on here, I've done a couple of blogs. I want to see how they rank. Places to get Thanksgiving meals in Texas, in Dallas. And this is a few weeks old, obviously. And that went to a blog about all the different places that you could go get a free meal if you wanted to, if you needed to. And this is a Google map that I created, and it's shareable. Okay. And it got 19 views. That's cool. 19 people looked up this map to see where they could maybe get a meal. I have one here for best Christmas. I'll do that one in a minute. Christmas things to do in Dallas-Fort Worth. And again, it's going to be, and I use ChatGPT and Bard. Actually, I use Bard to come up with a list, and because Bard can help you create the map. And these are all links that Bard gave me, and I click on this map, and it's places to go see, do things here. It's had 10 views. It's minor, but it's a start. And you can make this map discoverable on a Google search on its own. I don't know if this is going to help me, but I'm just playing a game here to see if I do on-site blogging, do I get anything versus off-site blogging. This is one I did. I went to Amazon and just built a wish list. Christmas gifts. If you have a realtor and you want to, get them something, here's a wish list for realtors. Things that are stress, de-stress, things that are, like technology stuff that you would want, things like that. I have no idea if this is going to get any play. I'm just throwing a hook in the water to see who bites. And you click on this and it takes you to Amazon, takes you to that wish list that anybody can buy from. So I don't know if I answered your question directly or not, but I don't think the URL is going to, I don't know that it's going to hurt me to leave it WordPress. At this point, I don't know if I want to change it to Robert's point. And I am trying some on-page blogging just to see what it does.
Yeah, it was kind of more, if you said, oh no, I'm for sure doing it this way, then I might have gone that way, but I'll probably just, because we haven't started it yet, so we'll probably just go vanity domain.
I don't know.
I've got three WordPress websites that used to, I don't know what they're doing now, and I don't know how to find out about domain authority, but they are in my specific market. One's called eastcobbhomeguide.com. The other's like Great Walton High School Homes. And I was going to delete those and end them. Somebody said, oh man, you don't want to have 5 websites.
No,
you
no.
only want to have one. Hell no.
Don't
I'm
delete.
do what you're talking about and blog back and forth.
Don't delete old domains.
Excuse me?
Do not delete old domains. Older domains have better authority than brand new domains.
Yeah, and
Even
like I say, they used to come up number 1 and 2 with Zillow and stuff like that.
Yeah.
When somebody would type in East Cobb Homes, boom, there'd be my eastcobbhomeguide.com. WordPress is awesome with SEO.
Because people go to WordPress to look at other WordPress sites, and they're going to stumble across yours. WordPress will show them things that, oh, well, you liked this article, maybe you like that article. You wanted this one, maybe because they want people to stay on their site and dwell, and that's what they do. So, I just like the fact that I can go create links at any time. And between ActiveRain and Google Business and WordPress, that's my strategy right now to do the off-page SEO. And I try to do 1 or 2 a week. The WordPress stuff somebody else is handling, but I'm not always successful, but I try to get 1 or 2 a week going on these. That Amazon list will be fun to see if anybody buys anything off of that. And these maps are easy to make in Google Google Maps. You just go, anybody want to see this, or just like y'all don't care?
Yeah.
You go to maps.google.com. And if you're like me, you have multiple identities on Google, so be sure that you're signed in as the person you want to be signed in as. So I'm Texas Pride Realty. And up here, you see the little sandwich, or the hamburger as they call it, and you want to go to the saved part. And you want to go to your maps. Okay. So here's all the different maps I was trying. I broke up Halloween by different counties. And then Christmas I did as Dallas-Fort Worth is 4 counties. So Halloween and Thanksgiving, I just kind of was like, just get them onto one map. I don't care. So you can let's go to the Texas Pride Realty, this one. It's gonna say, do you open in your maps? So I'm gonna open it up in my maps. And I can change the base map here. I can change it to be a different style. I kind of wanted a style that was muted so that the little trees would show up. And I could say, let's say I want to put in, I have no, Denton, Texas. And I'll just put Denton, Texas on the map. It's going to go to Denton. I can add to the map. And I can change the color, and I can change the little icon. I want to remove this because I don't want that showing up because there's nothing in Denton that I know of. But it's so simple to do. And at the top here where you do share, let anybody with this link view it, and let anybody find this on the internet.
Oh, that's neat.
So if somebody's looking for places to go and shop in for Christmas in Dallas-Fort Worth, this has a chance of showing up. And I think if I do this over the years, Google will be like, oh, he's a resource. What if I did places to go for Valentine's? I'm sorry?
You're embedding those in your website.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So I can take this and embed it and put it on, or I take a graphic of it. I'll just take a screenshot of this and then have that screenshot linked to this. But I think if I do like places to have a romantic dinner for Valentine's Day, places to do Easter egg hunts, places, if I can come up with a map for each holiday, would that do something? Would that help me over time? With Google and other, I mean, I don't know. So I'm playing the off-page blogging versus the on-page blogging, just so that I can shut my friend up that I'm right and he's wrong. And if I'm wrong, either way, I still won because I got more business. Any questions on this? Jason, I see a question.
Yeah, hey Bob. Are you posting these on like Instagram too? Like you'll screenshot it and then no?
I am rubbish at Instagram. I am absolutely rubbish at Instagram. I share them on my Facebook, but I am just, there's just got to be time for me to sleep. And that's, I got into the internet with AOL and discs. Okay. I got into the internet back in the day, and I like to chat and talk to people. Instagram is all about, look at me, not let's talk. So it just doesn't draw me.
Okay.
I know the younger people love to do the Insta.
Yeah, and TikTok.
I can see Amber judging me, but yeah. But yeah, I'm a Facebooker. Yeah, the TikTok, not so much.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to soon though.
Yeah, I know. So Leanne asked, how will I know if a lead came from my blog? Look at your Google Analytics and look at your lead sources. Okay. I can tell you that my today's DFW is not a huge lead source, but I get some things from it. And if I can build like 5 channels, each bringing me 4 or 5 people a month versus, one channel bringing me 100, that's worth something to me. Because I want the one bringing 100 and I want the one bringing 4 or 5. Yeah, but you would look at your Google Analytics. And I think that's going to be a class we're going to have in a couple of weeks where we'll do something with Google Analytics and look at how to read it, because they changed everything with G4, and the graphs are different and things are not where I expect them to be. Are there any topics y'all want us to cover? Don't everybody talk at once.
Always SEO stuff like this is awesome.
Okay. Yeah, I got my latest numbers in. The real lead system versus what I'm doing. I think I've shown you all this graph before. I started the Real Leads in 2020 in July during the pandemic because I was like, oh shit, I got agents to feed, let's go. And they told me they bring in, between 30 and 50 leads a month. First month they brought in 50, I brought in 41 organic, 53, 36. I'm tracking what they bring in versus organic. Okay. And in December of that year, I matched them. I got 46, 46, and I matched them and it turns green. In the next year, I matched them 4 times out of 12 months. The next year I matched them 10 times, or matched or beat them 10 times. And so far this year, I beat them each month. I'm not turning off the Real Leads, but I want to have my own stream of leads coming in. Okay. Because do you remember a few years ago, we were all in Facebook world getting Facebook ads, and then Facebook went crazy and we all ran out of Facebook and went over to Google? What happens when Google gets in trouble and everybody runs somewhere else? I want to have organic traffic so I don't have to be the first person jumping to whatever the new system is. I want to have organic just running like crazy.
Hey, Bob. Was it ever decided what's better to use content pages or area pages if you're building?
Good question.
Mert, if you're on, jump in this. I do area pages just because that's what I do. Content pages let you have a click, page at the bottom to click to. If you have 100 listings and there's 200, it'll let you click to the next one. Area pages don't. I'm already 91 miles downfield on area pages, so I'm not going to reverse engineer my site.
See, I did the same thing, Bob. I used to do the same thing when I first built my website 10 years ago. I was all area pages. But then we realized when we were doing site builds that content pages are more flexible from a template perspective. You can change the templates on content pages. There are different types of templates.
Right.
But really from an SEO perspective, there is no difference. So you're not really hurting one way or another. And as long as you can add up to 100 properties a page, it doesn't matter if there's pagination. Content pages, if you do the agent template profiles, you can do like a pagination on links. Like there'll be like page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. But now that we don't have any listings, that doesn't matter too much anymore either. In the good old days where there's a million listings, that actually mattered, but now it doesn't matter so much anymore.
Yeah.
But honestly, content, if you're starting new content pages, if you got area pages, don't panic, it's still okay.
I've got so many area pages. I mean, my sitemap is over like right around 500,000 pages. I am not going to go back and redo
No way.
anything. And those are not unique. Some of those are linking to each other from each other sort of thing, but I'm not going to go back and undo all that.
What?
Oh, okay. So go ahead, Mr. Clay, and then we got a question.
You may not want to go through it again. Dealing with taking certain cities and making a content page for each of those cities. You're using the that link. Anyway, just that process. Are you able to just show that real quick? What you do?
He's using area pages, right?
Ask your question again. I'm not sure. Ask your question again. I want to be sure I'm answering what you're asking.
Who, me or the?
Yes, you. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it would be if I wanted to, how we list the different cities or different counties, and like those searches right there. If I wanted to build a page just for that, so they could go straight to the city with maybe four bedrooms and 2 baths, that kind of thing.
So there's 2 ways of doing that. If you're doing a quick and dirty blog, then you can just come find your city here, Duncanville, 4 bedrooms, and search and grab it there. If you want to go through the process of building an area page, then that you would go into, let's go to Texas Pride Realty. If I could type, it'd be great, wouldn't it? Yeah, /admin. And then you go into the back end and you'd build an area page for that. Have you built an area page?
I have. I don't know how proper it was, but
Okay.
I haven't messed with it lately.
So you would add an area page here or a content page, whichever one you wanted. You come down here to your property display search. We'd be doing a lot more work. I'm just going to get to the part where we're talking about, and we come here and find whatever city we wanted, Bowie, and we find bathrooms or bedrooms here, how many beds, and we say 4 bedrooms or whatever you wanted, and we create that search. And then you'd publish this area page. and say yes, and you'd publish this area page, and then it would you would put it on your sidebar, and it would show up here.
Good, thank you.
But I think what you're if I heard what you're asking, you were trying to figure out how I did the fast links to get something to go blog about. Yes.
Yeah, I guess so. You were using it. People were finding you. Their keywords like they would go into a small city. We're in Colorado. Let's just say a very small city, and it would come up higher because not
Right.
really anybody else had
So
done
when I
it.
build my area page out, I add, like this is Euless, Texas. I add subordinate searches to Euless. So somebody could come in here, oh, I want golf course homes in Euless. I have no idea. There are no golf course homes. Good choice, Bob. You know, they can come in homes in Euless with an HOA, and it'll just show those. That sort of thing. So I'm going for the long tail keywords with that. But those are area pages that I built out,
Okay.
which is different than the blogging I was talking about earlier. Now you can use an area page for blogging, but I was just showing you how to do a quick dirty link to get something up.
Is there a disadvantage of using the area pages for blocking?
Just the time. Just it takes more time to build them. I can do an area page in 5 to 7 minutes if I'm focused. 20 to 30 minutes if there's something on TV that I really like. Or YouTube that I suddenly started watching. Or a TikTok.
Versus blogging, if you did it on a blogging page.
Yeah. Anybody else have a question?
Yeah, Bob, what did you say was the difference in content pages? There was something at the bottom of a content page?
So let me show you what Mert was talking about here. So in a content page, let's go to area pages first, open page. And now let's go to content pages and open that. Let me close down some of this extra stuff so that we don't confuse ourselves. Leave. And by confusing ourselves, I mean me, because I get confused. So an area page looks like this. And a content page looks very much the same, except for the fact on a content page, you can change the template. You can say this is a page with a search, page without a search, but that'll just show the banner, not the search criteria. Foreclosed property, I've never really used that. I don't understand that one too much. Featured property, let's say you have a listing you want to feature. A rental page, a sold page. Dallas-Fort Worth, we're not allowed to advertise solds. Once it's sold, we don't put it up. You can have a blank page that literally just has the navigation at the top and nothing else on it except for what you describe. An about page is going to be you and your agents. Here's all my agents who are in my brokerage.
Okay, got you. So
an
you
agent
can do
detail.
you can do one without a search. I just got a brand new listing.
But
So
hear
you're
me out.
saying
On a
sorry?
content page, you don't have those options. That's
Right.
the difference between area and content. Okay, now go ahead.
So I've got a brand new listing and I could make a featured property page. Is there any way to put that on the home page rather than in the sidebar?
What I would do then is I would go into the homepage and put that information in the homepage.
In the home page.
Yeah. If you got a listing that you really want to feature, it would need to go somewhere in here.
Oh, in the home page itself.
Yeah.
I could just put the link to my single page website.
You could, and maybe
Awesome.
right, and maybe put a little picture of it there. But this is how you control the center of the homepage. Everything else is a sidebar.
Ah.
Everything else is a sidebar.
I mean, technically, you could put all your featured listings too, even the sold ones, into the homepage, so people know that you actually sell and buy properties. If you don't have too many listings.
Yeah. See, that's where you need the wizard, like Mert, doing that. What I can do is I can play with the tools that are there. Mert can make bigger tools.
Oh no, I wasn't trying to mention that. Just to
No. I'm serious. You're the man behind the curtain.
You're
Any
both
other
wizards.
questions?
You're both wizards.
Jason, you're holding your head. Other Jason, you're holding your head. Okay, so was there any? I thought there was a question in the chat. Okay,
Yeah,
so Leanne asked a question. Mert, you're going to love this one. What are your thoughts about the new AI page creator from RealGeeks? Mert, do you want to take that one or should I? I think he stepped away. Okay, so if you don't know, RealGeeks is pushing their AI page creator, where you don't do any content or area pages yourself. They'll just have their AI write them on the fly.
I couldn't
Yeah.
mute it. Can I take this one, Bob?
Yeah, please. I was waiting for you
I'm
to
so
take
sorry.
it, so I didn't.
I apologize. I couldn't get off mute
That's
fast
okay.
enough. Sorry. So I did this test, guys, for RealGeeks before they even launched this months ago. I actually dared to put it on my website, and my website is a Chicago brokerage website. So we put in probably close to 60,000 pages with them. And out of the 60,000 pages, which as soon as it was published, then it started indexing it. And within a week, it de-indexed everything as soon as the September helpful content update appeared. So right now, I mean, we literally got de-indexed by 50,000 pages. I mean, Google just wiped my site out because of the wonderful SEO fast track they put in. If you look at their, and I have proof of it, their demo site for this, Bob, is instantrg.com. Bob, can you share your screen really fast and I can show this to people?
You want to share your side? Or you want me to?
I'm on my phone. I'm so sorry. I can do it, but
Instant RG.
Yeah, instantrg.com is actually the demo site. Instantrg.com is the demo site that RealGeeks has for this build that they are promoting. Okay, and this website has been around for 2-3 months now, at least. If you, Bob, if you can run a site, and this website, I looked at their sitemap, they have 16,000 pages on that website. But if you run a site command, Bob, on that website, like site:instantrg.com, which is a command that shows how many pages Google actually indexed on this website. What's the number, Bob? Is it 9? 10?
Where do you see that?
You used to have a number, or used to have a number at the top.
They don't even have a number at the top for this one.
It's
That's
about
weird.
10 now.
Am I doing it wrong?
No, I mean, you're right. It's just
site:instantrg.com.
Usually used to show a number at the top, but even if you don't scroll number, it's like in single digits. If you just scroll down, you'll see the end of it.
Holy shit. So just,
Well,
here
why is
it says
that?
quick settings. Now, so let's just for fun, let's play that against TexasPrideRealty.com.
Good
Please
idea.
be 8 pages.
I don't know why you're not showing any. Sorry, I don't know why you're not showing the numbers.
Yeah.
But I bet you have like thousands versus that guy only has 9.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is, you just asked me the question why. I believe somebody asked the question.
Yes.
The reason is Google ran a algorithm in September called helpful content update algorithm. And that algorithm pretty much wrecked any website that had like junk, simple articles that are very similar to each other, or this AI-driven basic content. Because the content they build is BS. It's just ChatGPT. It just tells ChatGPT, hey, ChatGPT, write me an article about this down plus this keyword, whatever the filter keyword is. But the problem is ChatGPT just reruns the same article over and over and over again. 70–80% of the articles are very similar to each other in context. And even the filters are so small because they didn't bother to add the sold feed, for example, or pending. They just show active listings. There's only one listing. So they just build 50, 60,000 or however many, 10,000, 20,000 in content that didn't have any structure, that didn't have any SEO. It was just blah, blah, blah. You might as well just put in lorem ipsum there. It's the same content over and over again. If you've ever seen those pages, like go to instantrg.com, you'll see their build. It's all the same content over and over again in different pages. I mean, and
I'm going to remember this.
I'm
going to remember. I forgot. I didn't know Instant RG was out there.
Yep, that's their demo site for it, guys. That's the site they sell to all their sales pitches. And sadly, Bob is right about this. I mean, there is no fast track to SEO, as they call SEO fast track. To be honest with you, I went after Kevin on this one too. I tried to say, why are you doing this, Kevin? I showed you the proof of it. Why are you still doing this? He did it. So that's it. It's just that it's worthless. It's not worth. I mean, unless you have a blank website and you just want some filler content in there. And the sad part about it is, if you look at their neighborhood or content pages, the top, what we call above the fold, there is 0 call to action. It's just a giant photo. Then there's content, and there's listings, maybe 1 or 2 listings, but there's no search bar or nothing at the top. It's just blank picture, a giant, boring content, and then you get down to the. I mean, I wouldn't put these as my PPC pages.
So let's see what they do here for description.
Well, two questions, Mert.
Sure.
Why in the hell did they build such a ridiculous amount, 20,000 pages? And B, what does it cost? What are they charging? You'd have to go in there and hand tune each one of those.
Well, and you can't tune them because they don't exist.
Oh, that's right.
So one of my
Yeah.
agents, Jed is in Dallas, and he's got a Real Geek site. He's going to focus on South Dallas. And so he went with this. And what he discovered is if he wants to create the pages doesn't even exist. So he can't go tune it because it's all in AI world. And I was like, told you not to sign up for this. He's like, yeah, well, they forced me kind of.
Honestly, I'll be blunt with you. They're doing this for revenue purposes.
Yeah,
they are shrinking the revenue. They're losing more customers than they're gaining. So they have to keep some, but they try to keep more subscribers online as much as possible. And most of realtors don't have a clue. So when this big platform tells you this is SEO, they're like, oh yeah, that's great. Then they keep you on for another 6 months saying, oh, it'll take a few months for Google's SEO to take effect. That's all. And they even
And
show
by
you
then you paid how much?
$250.
Yeah. Yeah. And
$250.
I'd rather get you to build my pages, Mert, and then go in and hand tune them. Good God.
Oh no, it's not about the pages, guys. Like, I'm not even saying my builds anymore. Like, okay, what I built for Bob is a skeleton, if that makes sense. The skeleton still needs, what's the word? Still needs the meat and bone, if that makes sense, guys.
Right.
It's not just that. That's where Bob comes in. I just built a skeleton. Technically, yes.
he builds
Go
out
ahead.
the framework for me. So when I have somebody sign up, they go to RealGeeks/Bob. And I don't take any money from Real Geeks because I don't want to be that person taking money. But what I do is when it goes to /Bob, they know to send it to Mert. Mert does the framework and then I come make it pretty. So did you ever used to play with Play-Doh as a kid? And you had that extruder and you put the Play-Doh in and it shot out a star or a heart. Mert puts his code in and it shoots out a heart. I come along with all the other colors and make the heart pretty and make it more attractive to Google. So we work hand in hand. I do not want to work on an RG site builder site because they're trying to make their sites look more like Agent Image and Luxury Presence, and they're taking a fast product and just weighing it down with bloatware. And I cannot take an RG site builder site and undo it because they've written it into the code. So I have to have an RG site builder totally reset, and then I can go send it to Mert and take it and go. And their third option now is this AI site builder. I haven't used it myself, but everybody I'm talking to is like, not sure I want to do that. Now, Real Geeks will probably call me up and grump at me for this, but that's where I'm at right now. It's like beta versus VHS. I don't know where it's going yet, so I'm going to keep doing what I know works.
Right.
Which is just building it out hand by hand.
And guys, don't take me wrong. I used to be the white label guy for RealGeeks for building sites. So we used to build like over 3,000 websites in 2 years. The issue, and I never claimed my sites were like the SEO solution to everything. The sites actually work great for, ironically, for what's called dynamic PPC, but they don't, where you submit your content to Google and Google just runs ads matching the keywords. But beyond that, you need a lot of more content now. You need, as I said, you need the blogs, you need the articles and the content. That's what Bob is teaching at this point.
Right.
Without that content, it's very, what's the word? Just a skeleton. Google just wants a lot more now for that content. Sorry, go ahead, Bob.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely right. And Google wants the content and they want it to be unique.
They want quality.
I was just doing a demo with another group of Tom Ferry people a few minutes ago. If you have an Agent Image site, or actually, frankly, Real Geeks, every Real Geek site has the same language in their about page or their homepage. If I Google that sentence, I can find every customer of Agent Image. I can find every customer of Real Geeks because they didn't change their sites. If I want to go prospect, all the luxury presence sites, I just have to find that one phrase that nobody changed because it's canned and they just accepted the site and I got all their people. If your site is not unique, if Jason and Jason both have the same about page or the same, here's how to buy a house page, neither one of you are going to rank for that. So I want both of you Jasons, I want you doing something different. Mr. Clay, I want you doing something different. Everybody should be doing something different. Leanne, get off the golf course and go work on your site. You know, that sort of thing. Who's gonna build sites over the holidays? I don't go out for New Year's. I sit at home and code sites. I have my Netflix on, I've got a beverage of choice, and I sit there and just code pages, and I'm boring. But my rankings go up the next year.
Which is fun.
Which is great. Which is freaking amazing.
I'd rather do that than go in a bar any day.
Yeah. Any other questions on this? I don't want to just chat away if y'all are done.
I have
Okay.
a question.
Okay, good.
I have started blogging on LinkedIn, like publishing original content to LinkedIn.
good.
I'm also putting it on my RealGeeks website. Is that bad to use the same blogs?
I think if it appears once or twice, it's okay. I think if it appears 17 million times, no. Mert, do you have an opinion about that? Because I think that, like, if I put it on my ActiveRain and then I put it on my site, I don't think that's going to hurt me as much as if it, like, appeared on 47 sites.
At the end, Google will just deduplicate, which means like they will only count one if it's like 95% the same content. If you're changing it around a little bit, sure, it will actually count. But it's all 95%. Google won't punish you for it. They will just count the best authority one, so to speak, the best authority page, so to speak, as the backlink or the original content that should be ranking or placing on there. So the issue with that is if you're putting the same content to your blog, and if you're putting it on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn has a much higher page authority than your blog does, then the issue is LinkedIn will start showing up for the same content rather than your website will. So
And as long as there's a link, yeah, go ahead.
as long as you, I'm sorry, I was about to say the same thing you were saying, Bob. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
As long as
you're
there's a
right.
link from the LinkedIn, as long as there's a link from other websites to your original content as the source, then that content will rank other people. You have to make sure that when you're doing copies of the same content or similar stuff, you might want to put a link back to your blog post as the original source content at all times.
I did something similar to that, and it was just on another site, and it was just two, and Google came back on the what's Google Analytics came back, and they were saying error, and they said duplicate content. So I don't know, and it sort of messed things up a little bit. So because I didn't know how to erase it.
Well, when you're saying put a similar or duplicate article, like I do in Facebook, I'll do a post on my personal, then put it in my business if I think it's important, but I'll reword it slightly. So they can't say, oh, that's the same exact thing. So I think that may help.
Yeah, because they'll definitely pull it up with no problem.
Yeah.
Well, it's been working. I've gotten a lot of organic leads from LinkedIn, and I've had some website signups as well. But mostly people are seeing my stuff on LinkedIn. That's where I'm getting my most organic leads right now.
But
It's
don't you
working.
have
We're using it.
LinkedIn to link back to your RealGeeks website? Don't you have some kind of a trail? So they
I
can't.
went back and edit. I was not adding any links at all. And I've gone back and since edited a lot of my blogs and added a link.
I'm
The
thinking
issue
about
is,
putting my new listing on LinkedIn, and then it goes back to RealGeeks.
Mm-hmm.
if I may suggest something to you about the LinkedIn posting, LinkedIn is a search engine of itself, so you get the traffic. But if you're going to put a link back to your site, put it in comments. Don't put it in the article. Because if you put in the article, LinkedIn algorithm kind of kills your visibility much more.
Oh, nice.
Your-
So put it in the comments.
Okay.
That makes more sense.
So put that link in
Only
your
go,
comments.
okay, so that would only okay.
I'm just saying, in
Yeah.
the old post, it's not a big deal, but in the short ones, like if it's fresh content, like we want people to see it, because Google shows the freshest content, but they don't like promotional content. It isn't like the content itself shows like a backlink to something else. Then it looks promotional rather than informational, and then LinkedIn kind of pushes your algorithm, pushes it down a little bit, like pushes down your visibility a lot. Is my point.
Okay.
Up in the comments.
I think a lot of people are finding me off hashtags. Like I hashtag the shit out of everything.
That's great. Hashtags are great. Links, not so
Yeah.
great. At least in the body of the content, not the comments.
Okay, I gotta jump, guys. Jason Flynn, you asked a question early and I want to cover this and I literally got to jump off the page. Okay, so I'm using Uber Suggest here. Today's DFW.com, flatline. Today's DFW/WordPress.com. That's how they're tracking it. And as I've been pushing today's DFW, you see my organic traffic goes up. And then just to double check that I wasn't just absorbing stuff from WordPress on its own, there's WordPress numbers. So it is taking the subdomain and running it independently. And the fact that I'm forwarding, the forward gets nothing. The URL gets everything. And I don't want to go change that right now because I don't want to lose what I've been building.
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, guys. Happy holidays, Merry,
you.
everything. And we'll keep working on this. Chase, nice to see
Thank you,
you.
Bob.
Thank you.
Don't capitalize the conversation so much next time.